Everybody, welcome back to Vintage Story on the Rusty Gears server, Season 3 with me, Sid. Episode 11, first episode that I'm recording since I got back, and of course the moment I start recording it decides to start cooking up my graphics card, so let's just do that. Yeah, so I'm over here in the community centre at the moment. I haven't done a huge amount between episodes, and I'll catch you up on what I have done shortly. But right now I am making, I mined a whole load of the iron from the last episode that we got from our iron seam, and we are going to, I'm just going to auto process this, which is, I must admit, I love this this mod. The auto processing side of things, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the mini game that's added in the same way that I quite like the complexity and the element of fun that you get with the mini game that was in Terra Firma Craft, but it does get tedious after a while. Now, I mean, I know I can do this with a Hellhammer upstairs, it's just slower, but this works fine. And 20, or I should say, I need to pick this one up in a second. Let me just get it. Oh yeah, that's a thought. I'm going to struggle on. Oh, it doesn't matter, I don't need to do them all. Some of these I am making into chain for chainmail. Now if I can manage to process the second one fast enough, then we can make the chainmail. So Shino has located the Resonant Archive, and we are preparing and plotting to go to do that as a group. And I've decided that the armour that I'm wearing is not up to snuff. I mean, it's possible apparently, and I know a few players have said they just went in Gambleson armour, but I strongly suspect that what I need is something with a little bit more oomph. So I'm going with iron chainmail. I would have liked to do steel chainmail, but seeing as I'm going to need somewhere in the region, well, not somewhere, I'm going to need 40 ingots of iron, and I've already used 20 to do this particular piece of work. And it's not recoverable, so again there's no point using the thing. I just go straight in with the thing. I need 20 pieces of this chain. Each one takes 2 ingots, so, and I've got 10. So yeah, I'm going to just run through these and get as much of this, well, get these blooms. I've got some more blooms processing up in the ceramics place, and well, it's a real shame that this isn't recoverable, because there's so many bits of iron here that I could be picking back off of this. But oh well, you can't have everything, I suppose. And I'm going to get this done, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so we are just finishing off the last batch. This is the last piece of chain, and I've got one more bloom to process to an ingot. And then of course there's the blooms that I've got running at the moment, but they can be done between episodes. I don't think we need to worry about those right now. So we got the chain, and we just need to quickly process this, and we'll be there. Now, before I went away on holiday, I decided to have a play with steel making, because I've never done it in Vintage Story, and obviously at this stage in the game I've not done it using my own cementation furnace. So there is a big old multi-block structure you have to make, and you know, it's expensive and it's time consuming and takes a lot of materials, which I don't have, or you know, haven't got yet. So I have the iron, and we had quite a lot of iron waiting to process in the community centre, so I took that up and processed 16 iron. You process it 16 at a time, and you whack it in there, and you basically use hundreds of charcoal or fuel. You use so much fuel, it's untrue. Over the space of literally hours. And it made 16 steel. Now, given that this is taking 40 iron to make the iron chainmail, this is what's left of that batch of 16 steel that I made for the community centre. You're looking at 3 runs. I mean, that's probably 12 plus hours of playtime, of actual playtime, not in-game hours, that's or days, actual playtime, where you're just having to hang around this furnace and keep stoking it full of fuel and all the other bits and pieces. So, and I know I'm walking, but you know, I can fly, but there's a really good reason for that, and that is because I want to. So, these are the other blooms that I ran, and I'll collect these now just so I've got them. We'll process them at another time. And the bloomeries, of course, you know, you don't get all of the brick back, so I need to run 4 of those to replace the ones I've used. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did run up a load more bricks, so I need 12, 16, isn't it? To make the lids. So yeah, steel takes a long time. And the difference between steel and iron is relatively small. Other things I've been doing while I've been things, I have now roofed the top of the wall across all of this, so I've popped in there and done that. And we've been processing all of our stuff, which seems to have run. I've got some more andesite in there. Got loads and loads of materials, including, I want to show you this. For the missions, I've got 4 gold things, a whole load of silver spears, and all of that stuff. And I got myself a resonator in the ruins, so that was fun. Anyway, just let me be back in a second. I think someone's tapping at my door. Maybe not. Or maybe he got bored and went away. So, what have I done over here? Still need to work on these things, but I have now got a generation. I think you're Gen 5, I think now. Yes. And these are Generation 5 Piggly-Winks, which are... Well, ball there, that's a Generation 5 and they're pregnant, so we're just waiting for those to pop and then we can get the Generation 6 Piggly-Winks into here, so that's all good. And pretty much that's kind of it from this side of things. However, we have, let me just go and put some of this stuff away for starters. You can just go temporarily in there. Boops. You lot can go on there. That's my iron replenished. Got a little bit of gold, no, tin bronze, a lot of copper, some plates. This is kind of growing. It's only, this is actually not mine, but this is a temporary base anyway, so that's the thing. So, to use all of this chainmail, grab the other 10. So that gives me a whole load of that, and you can go, well, you can go there actually, I suppose. That's as good a place as any. So this chain, how do we use it? Well, we've got chainmail hat. Fortunately, a chainmail hat is 3 chain. Nice and easy. So there's my helmet. And then we need to make a chainmail body, but for that I'm going to need to make this first. And luckily I've been processing a whole load of leather because, you know, I've got quite a bit of it. So I think we just do that for one of those. And we also need the leather jerkin, leather legs jerkin, so that's just that. Okay, that's fine. We're going to need those as well. And then we're going to take you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think that's how that went. It is. There's the chain body. And then this one we are going to mix up. We're going to use you to make... That's a brigandine. That's not what I wanted. That. So it's there with 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there is the chain legs. Now, did I just kick a cat? I did. Under the table. Didn't kick out. She was laying in front of where I put my feet. The armour situation. So let's just have a look at what I'm wearing. I'm wearing Uncommon Tailored Gamblesome. The Uncommon is just a mod that gives it that. You can see that it's got a healing effectiveness of -10, hunger rate of +3, it's got 75% protection, flat damage reduction of 0.8, whatever, and a protection tier of 2. Now, let's go and have a look at chainmail armour. So, copper chain armour is a protection tier 1. And it's a -10, +7, -3 accuracy, +6 slowness on there, 80% reduction, flat damage of 1.1. Now let's have a look at iron. It's a 1.3 with an 84, protection tier 3, and you know, -10 +7. -3, which I think is these are acceptable penalties on my ranged weapons and the walk speed. Steel, 86, 1.4, protection tier 4. Now this protection tier is the bit that's the interesting bit, because if you were to look at the drifters, a surface drifter, for example, is a damage tier of 0, for example. A deep drifter is 1, tainted 2, corrupt 3, and I think the nightmare is 4. I can't remember the exact ones there. Let me just flap around over here a bit. If you're only wearing a low protection tier armor like this, which is protection tier 2, something with a protection of 4 will overmatch that armor and damage you quite heftily. Sushi or berries? Sushi. I'm going to be berry. I'm going to keep the sushi. So when we come to do the Resonant Archive, I just wanted to make sure that we are absolutely got the best protection for our class, which is a ranged class. So we want to make sure that our ranged weaponry is good, but also come on, drop piggies. Also that our protection from the things, because what I've noticed when I was deeper in the ground is when I was meeting some of the tougher drifters, even with the decent armor on, when they hit you, they hit like tanks. So yeah, that was a thing. Anyway, what did I come back in here for? Oh, I know what I wanted to come back in here for. I'm going to need to take myself my rough cut chisel, I think, to start off with. Yeah, that would probably do. Maybe I should have a hammer about my personage. We'll take the wedge chisel as well. I'm not so worried about the finishing chisel at this stage. Should have, let me just check my carry box here. I actually need to sort this out, so before we go we probably will, because I've got a whole load of stuff in here that I need to find a home for, but I should have a hammer. I have. So yeah, I do need to just sort you out first. And then we're going to head down to where I want to call home. And we're going to make a start on... We're not going to get anywhere close to finished, or even close to having much done, but I want to make a start on laying out and getting a rough idea. And for that I am going to need sandstone. I haven't got a huge amount of sandstone. We'll take what we've got. And for simplicity's sake, I am going to fly down there, because it's not like we have, let me just get another point of speed on that. It's not like we have, we're going to an area that I've not explored before. And I should have done my chest before I went down there. That's fine, doesn't matter, we'll sort it. Now, I'd originally planned to try and do a bit of a mixed community thingy on this, because there's a whole load of locusts down there and they need sorting out. But now I've got this angel bell, right, there we go, I might as well just do it myself. I've got all the community things we can possibly do. I've found some fairly good ruins that we can possibly explore with people, and of course we've got the resident archive coming. So let me slow myself down, not that much, there we go. And we need to come in under here and essentially take advantage of the fact we're flying to get these locust nests to start with. And these are not fun because they just take an age to break. Whoop, hello. Where did you come from? Well, I can see you. And then we'll have you out of the place. Yeah, I think this would have been a pain without the angel belt. But it's relatively straightforward with this, so I could potentially even just fly away and nothing there, that's fine. Where is that dropping? Is it just spawning about that area? Maybe. Anyway, these need to go, and we'll deal with the locusts. And enough of these locusts can be quite a challenge if you're not careful, but I think we should be relatively safe with this overhang structure. Boop. Look at them all scuttling. They want me. They want to eat me. I wonder whether there is a hidden one somewhere in that block up there, because there's still stuff spawning down there. But anyway, once we've got this, we can start to plan. Our structure. Let me just try this one, see if I can. If they manage to get a nibble on me or two, I'm not going to worry too much, because we're pretty well armoured and they don't do a huge amount of damage individually, but as you can see, when there's a lot of them, they can become a little bit frolicsome, and we need to just check. Where have we got? Yeah, there's definitely something going on up here. how can they be? Just swoop in, grab another javelin or spear, I should say. See, take a little bit of nibble, but doesn't take too long to. And those corpses will despawn eventually. Now, stupid question is, are we clear? Because they were definitely spitting bibbies down. Right, let's see how we're doing there. Right, oh. Don't want to step on those, that'll hurt. A bit of lag spikes. Moment server's having, I won't say troubles, but it's having a few lag spike issues now and again. We're not entirely sure what's causing it, but I am sure we will find out. Let's just make sure we're good. See, this cave was what drew my eye, because you've got this going on this side, which, you know, is potentially a good way to bridge across, and on this, and it's nice and green and lush. And if we go over here, I think it's getting a bit cooler, so I think over here we might find that this is actually a good area to think about farming. Whereas obviously over on the other side we've got desert, which is, well, not to put too fine a point on it, a much more warm environment. And my plan was basically to butt up to the side of the cliff here, come out from there, have a structure which spans across here, and then from around about here would have a structure or maybe a drawbridgey thing going across. Yeah, I mean, it's all fairly basic, but it should work, I think. Anyway, what we probably should do is wait until the morning where we can have a look at this in more detail. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so just initial thoughts. We're going to come from here. This is going to be the gatehouse. We're going to have a thin wall which runs down here. It's going to be a thin wall that runs down here, and this is going to be Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe there. So that will be one structure. Let me just, I'm just using, I went and trashed a ruin just to get these blocks because they fit the theme. And then across here there'd be a doorway into, let's have a look. This is a 4 wide because we're going to put the 4 wide gate in here. So I think your door's going to go kind of there. And then we'll kind of wing it from there. This will kind of come this way. We need to have a certain amount of free reign here just to go ham and get all of this structure in. It's going to have multiple levels. This is going to be one of several buildings. I may even build into the mountainside and perhaps put like some wind power in there. Maybe we could use this here for a water wheel. We could, pretend that, well, not pretend, we can make it a water source. There's lots of options. But right now it's really just getting a basic shape down, and the floor level is going to be all up one. So even though I'm digging up this lot, it's going to be up a level. So you don't need to worry, for example, about this bit because that will be below the floor level. So that's kind of the plan. So I've got my sandstone. Let me just have a look here, and this is going to go, and then that will go there, and then we'll have you coming across here. And there'll be more detailing going in as well. I mean, this is first pass stuff. Realistically here, so that kind of goes there. Then you're going to have this kind of affair here, and now do I want to do that, or do I want these to sit proud a little bit? This is a difficult choice. I think we'll keep these flush, actually. I think that's a definite design choice. And then this will come across here like so. A part of this kind of fits into my build palette selection. So I like to build with a palette that is sympathetic to the surroundings that you're in, because realistically, if you were building here, you would build out of sandstone, andesite and slate, because that's the stone that's in the area. If you were wealthy, you might build out of a different material, because of course you could afford to go up there to granite country, for example, and bring the granite down. Let me just check that while I'm up here. Never sure whether I don't think you tend to get a lot of gold veiny bits in here. Oh, hello. Sorry. Nothing. So yeah, the basis behind a lot of the ideas here, and this thing here, what are you? Can I get a seed? Got a stick. Oh, I did. I got a green spire cypress seed. Cool. Anyway, what was I doing? I was going to put down one of those. I was going to whack you back in my offhand and get myself some more of this just to get the basics in. And then what we'll do is next episode we'll start to get some structure in. We can think about stores or storerooms and cellars and all those good things that you need. And kind of take it from there. Doop, like this. That kind of works. I am going to need a lot more sandstone though. That much is certain. So if that's there, how big do we want this side to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perhaps about there-ish. These bricks are going to change to bricks, by the way. So that's not going to be. This is not going to be the permanent fixture here. And then from here, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe about there. So we're kind of coming in like that. Down to there. Yeah, so again, difficult to try and explain what you're trying to achieve sometimes. So that's basically doorway there, probably single door there, or maybe even an arch, I don't know. This could become a stable as well. There's lots of things it could be. But I will just use you. It'll throw some bit of texture in there. But that kind of gives a rough floor plan idea. We've got rid of that. So I think the next thing I need to think about, that made no sense whatsoever, John, is gathering materials for this. So let us try for a bit of a switcheroo here, and we'll pop that away. We'll take you and pop you. Yeah, that can go in there, that will go there. We can eat the sushi roll because that's a nice big source of food. Bang. We can grab you. And I think it was over here, wasn't it, that I started my ooh, cactus, lovely. Was it over around here somewhere that I excavated? It wasn't that far from here. God, you know what it's like. You dig a hole, then you can't find it. Somewhere. Hello? Bit of wood. Oh, come on. I know it was round here somewhere. Cannot find where I dug into the hillside to excavate all of that sandstone from, which is bizarre because it wasn't a small. There it is. Apparently it was a small. Okay, right, so if I go from here and we go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be 1, 2, 3, 6. Yep. And then across 6. So the nice thing about having iron splitter plugs, they do such bigger chunks, so we can get a lot more building materials on a single pass. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes certain gathering so much easier. Again, I can't imagine trying to do steel once, because steel is, I think, a 7x7 off the top of my head. So you'd need 14 steel ingots, basically almost an entire. But when you do that, you get 216 stone, which is well worthwhile. But once you've got the hole in the ground, everything becomes a lot easier, because now we can just come in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is just going to get us building materials for days, which is all good. Let me just run this and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we've got some resources. I need to get bricks, I need to get mortar. For that we appear to have 1 or 2 friends in the area. They'll probably not have anything worthwhile, because they're only surface. Is that them all? Yeah, that seems to be them all. But you know, that's fine. We had a few friendos come around to visit just to see what we're up to, and this is the basis. We can build additional structures, and it'll be a small little desert settlement, butting up to this kind of hill side fort, which I need to just double check. I'm not really. I don't know what the actual structures up at the top are like. It'd be interesting to. Oh, we definitely got some furry company. Are you a brown? Black, aren't you? Hello. This is what I mean when I'm talking in the single player world about how I have to remember that I am not playing in this world. I am a little bit good with these spears in this class. But we'll take it. We'll leave the bones as warnings to any other bears in the area. I don't think that works, but you know. But you know, we have a thing. So I'm going to grab a screenshot of this starting area. It's not massive, but I'm a firm believer that one of the best things you can do is avoid massive builds. And I think I'm going to head back, start putting together some mortar. I know there's nothing down this one. There was one of these borax in the area, and we've got, well, thanks to Shino, we know we've got halite. Yeah, there's your borax. and sulfur. Now I need some of this actually. So I should grab some of this while I'm here, because in addition to building next episode, I still need to be preparing for the Resonant Archives, and I think one of the things that will be very valuable for that will be some sulfur poultice, sulfur honey poultice I should say. I think it's sulfur honey anyway. And for that we're going to need to do this, and that is going to be grind down to 2, and we can use that for a honey sulfur poultice from linen, which is plus 7 hit points. We can do it also from reeds, but why would you bother? It also can be used for blasting powder, which is used for or blasting bombs, so lots of fun there. Don't think I need a vast amount of it. Because I'm carrying vintage beef, which is a healing thing in its own right. So yeah, there's... Well, hello. Don't want to play. I'm busy. So yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.